Welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as well. A reminder, the show is available as a podcast. If you want more of us throughout your day, and let's be honest, you need it.
Of course.
Then download the subscribe. I guess the key thing is subscribing. Subscribe to the Craig Carton Show podcast, Apple, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcast. It goes up every day, right around noonish or so.
I want to shout out somebody in the Lower East Side, another guy named Craig, who subscribed in front of me on Friday evening, said he's a big fan of the show.
There you go.
He was watching on YouTube. I said, well, you got to subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah.
And he did.
Nice. What were you doing on the streets of New York City?
Just hanging out with the missus, hanging out, watching sports, doing things.
Nice, there you go. One of the stories we woke up to yesterday, a sad story, a dude named Kris Boyd, who was a New York Jet I'm not all that familiar with. I know he's on IR and has not been playing. He and a bunch of his buddies were at a Chinese restaurant here in New York City. And there were a couple of fights broke out in the street and maybe inside the restaurant. No idea if he was involved in any of it. The word is that he recognized there's a bad vibe inside the restaurant. Some groups were jawing at each other. So he told his buddies, which included a couple other Jets as well, let's roll out of here. And then in the street, there was kind of a brawl. And then, unfortunately, as goes sometimes in this country, dude took out a gun and just started shooting. We don't know if Boyd was the intended target.
Right.
But the good news is that he went from clinging to life to now he has been stabilized by the doctors at a New York City hotel. And the craziest thing for me about the story is that the restaurant that this all happened at is the restaurant I took Tyrone to for lunch 3 weeks ago.
Really liked it.
So,
really liked that restaurant. I mean, listen, I guess I'm glad nothing happened, but the food's good.
Yeah, the hot and sour soup was awesome.
It was good, yeah.
The crispy rice with tuna tartare was awesome.
It was good, yeah.
The dumplings were good.
Yeah.
But we ain't going back.
No.
I can tell you that.
Not unless I could put on the vest.
Yeah. And then yesterday also reminded me how fugazi the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty has been. Because in a game in which I thought for sure going with the Broncos going into the bye week and having won 7 straight, and the Chiefs coming out of the bye week, this had one of those old wink, wada-doodles from the NFL to the officiating crew that had said our best interest for Kansas City to go to 6-4, right, and not drop down to 5-5 because we want Kansas City in the playoffs. But somehow, some way, they hired an honest, objective officiating crew, and it proves again what I've said from day one, despite all the heat that I get from Kansas City fans and their embarrassing media people who have gotten on their knees to service Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid for the last 5 years and thrown their masculinity right out the window in an effort to curry favor. So, maybe I'll get to eat at 1587 Steakhouse too. Ooh, thank you, Patrick. Ooh, thank you, Travis. Embarrassing. No objectivity whatsoever. On the payroll, as it were. Well, what are you going to say today? As Chiefs fans went to bed last night crying, recognizing that it's over, that the NFL treated your team, I'm sorry to say this, like a Hunts Point hooker.
Oh, my goodness.
That's how the NFL treats you. Once the NFL decides they're done with you, you get kicked out of the crib. You get kicked out of the Sprinter. You get kicked out of the Maybach. You get kicked out with the clothes you came with on your back, and that's it. The NFL is now done sleeping with the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was great while it lasted. This is like, I don't know, this is like Pretty Woman type stuff.
Oh, yes.
When Richard Gere was done with Julia Roberts, he was done. Done. That's a wrap.
So you mean to tell me, like in those movies on HBO back in the day, that means they're going to be out there trolling without a car on foot?
That's right.
And you're going to take somebody to a truck stop?
Open-toe sandals. They'll be at a Jersey truck stop by noon today.
Oh, no.
Because the NFL's treating the Kansas City Chiefs like common street walking hoes. That's just what it is. They discard you like yesterday's newspaper, man. And you got to now deal with the reality that you're going to be back to where you were pre-Patrick Mahomes. Average at best. 5-5. Fighting tooth and nail for the last wild card spot. And why are they doing it to you? Because Taylor Swift said no. I ain't performing at no Super Bowl halftime show. And the NFL felt jilted. And they were like, oh, no. Now what are we going to do? And you saw it. You saw it yesterday because that was one of those games that we've seen in the last 7 years where a late call goes Kansas City's way. And then a second call goes Kansas City's way. And next thing you know, they're on the 10-yard line kicking a game-winning field goal or holding without it being called, and they walk away with a dub. They are 0-5 in one-score games this year. What does that tell you? They're not getting the calls they used to live off of. So it's a brave new world, and anybody can win the Super Bowl. We got a great week ahead. Thank you for joining us. Have a blessed day.